When I first went into service, I started basic training in Fort Dix, New Jersey. Went on to advanced training in Fort Polk, Louisiana, and left Fort Polk, Louisiana as a private first class. Went over to Vietnam, and my status there was an infantryman, heavy weapons. Unfortunately, yes, I was involved in a lot of action over in Vietnam. I spent about 6 months there and spent most of the time out in the field. Really never getting back to base camp, only once or twice in that 6-month period. But yes, I did see a lot of action. Here again, unfortunately, I would probably have to say yes. Not that I can confirm that, but we were in many firefights in Vietnam, and a lot of my friends were wounded, some were killed, and I know a lot of Viet Cong or North Vietnamese were wounded or killed when we searched out after a firefight. I cannot really say that I killed someone point blank because I really don't know. I had one very good close friend, which happened to be a medic, walking into a village one day. He stepped on a mine and was killed. As far as me, did I ever get close to being killed? Yes, I was wounded in Vietnam. I was shot through the leg in November of 1966, and came home back to the States and spent 1 year in an Army hospital in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Well, when I first got shot, I was on the side of a mountain. Like I said before, I got shot through the leg. I was pinned down. Two of my friends tried to get me out. Eventually, one of them did make it up to me. By that time, I was in a lot of pain. Gave me some medication for the pain, and they got me dragged down to the bottom of the hill where a helicopter took me out of there and brought me to a field hospital. Spent an hour or two in the field hospital and was helicoptered out to a major hospital that the Army had set up in Quy Nhon, Vietnam. And there I was operated for my wound in the leg. Spent about 2 to 3 weeks in that hospital, and then was medevac to Okinawa, on to Japan, on to Guam, and back to the States, and arriving in the States on Christmas Eve. That's a very difficult thing to do, but just to give you an idea, in the morning, if you weren't on an ambush, all-night ambush, you had to guard duty. You had 2 hours on guard duty, and you slept for 2 hours, and then on guard duty for another 2. So you really did not have a full night's sleep. It was broken up by these 2-hour shifts. The morning, early in the morning, it was very hot, in the vicinity of like 95 degrees. So you were constantly sweating. You were constantly hot. Did a lot of walking, and did a lot of helicopter assault missions, which was too numerous to count during the course of a day. Came across different people in rice paddies working at their job that they had done for the day. If we were on different missions, we would be searching out villages or searching out caves. When we searched out caves one time, the company that I was with, which was the 1st Cavalry, we had found the largest storage of rice in caves, and the caves were built down like cities are built up in the United States. They had many different rooms, many different passages, and we had happened to find this big, large volume of rice that the Viet Cong had stored to feed their people. And we had medevaced that out to orphanages and people that needed food. Again, then you would set up for the night. You would have to dig a foxhole. I was a machine gun operator, so we had to have a bigger foxhole than normal for the machine gun. Again, if you weren't put on doing ambush patrol at night, you would go back to that same guard duty, 2 hours on, 2 hours of sleep. And that's really a typical day in Vietnam, other than mentioning being in firefights and being very tired and very weary from walking. And we did a lot of walking. And really, that's all I can explain about one day in Vietnam.